What's up, everyone? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, March 11th, 2019. I hope you're doing well. Want to do a brief overview on Litecoin price right now. Want to look at the momentum in particular for Litecoin. Also look at price a little bit and maybe the pattern, the main pattern that many are watching right now for Litecoin. So let's jump into the video and talk about this. Litecoin on the weekly. I want to start on the weekly chart just to paint a picture. If you look at the middle of the screen, the RSI, the momentum oscillator, the slower moving momentum oscillator, always nice to come to the weekly chart and look at all parts of the chart. But here's the oscillator. Put your eye on the 40 line right here on this oscillator. This is an area we've talked about throughout pretty much the whole year. Even before we broke through the bottom of the 40 line on the RSI, we really use that area to really define and watch a bear market. It's usually below that 40 line where you experience a bear market. Not even so much that oversold line, the 30 line, but the 40 line. And so I just want to point out the fact, and I might have done this one other time in the last couple weeks, Litecoin right now above the 40 line, right? We came out of that bottom here in December, and Litecoin has been doing very well. Here it is on the weekly above the 40 line. So going forward, something to keep an eye out on, if we do get a retracement, if we get a bounce on that 40 line, that would be an extremely bullish scenario. And even if we get on the weekly oscillator, big downside to that 40 line, many might kind of be experiencing a very bearish sentiment. But if we see support in that area, right, and we get kind of a higher low in that area, bounce off of this area, that would be extremely bullish. I just want to throw that out there for you to keep an eye on that moving forward. But speaking to the momentum of Litecoin right now, besides just that RSI, you have the weekly MACD cross back in December with just really strong upward momentum as of right now, continuing on the weekly chart. One thing to take note of is how overbought we are on the stock RSI, this quicker moving momentum, but that can be misleading. If you go back to actually when Litecoin really started making some moves in March 2017, around 2 years ago, at $3, $4, you can see at that time, even though we got high into that overbought area on the stock RSI and then bounced all the way back down, you can see the divergence in Litecoin along the way, still making higher lows, right? And just continuing the upside. So be careful when you're looking at the stock RSI. I definitely say the RSI, this middle oscillator, slower moving oscillator on my screen, way more effective, I think, in kind of giving you an idea of what Litecoin's doing. Moving over to the charts, want to throw this out there real quick on the daily. The one thing I'm looking at on the daily, again, is the RSI. Curious to see how this plays out right here. We talked about potential short-term reversal, and you can actually see it almost already starting, right? We have a little bit of a shift in this RSI, but a reversal to the upside, so that we're not even actually, creating a new lower low in this falling wedge on the RSI, but actually breaking through this upper trend line. That is something that we can look for to see a continued uptrend in Litecoin. But talking about the actual charts, which many of you are used to seeing, let's expand that real quick to get an idea of where we're at. So in, I think, yesterday's video, we essentially talked about a very important area, which is that previous swing low to swing high and our retracement channel down here, the 618 to the 786 on the Fibonacci, right around $50 to $47. It's a very important area, confluent with a 200 EMA. Now, this is on the daily chart. It's a huge area of support. Keep an eye on this area in case we do continue downside. Since I did that video yesterday, we have experienced downside, I don't know, 4%, 5% or so. It may continue, but if you really want to watch Litecoin right now, we can look at Litecoin on the 4-hour chart and we can get an idea of what we might anticipate for Litecoin. Because right now in the 4-hour, Litecoin at a critical area of support at the 50 EMA. And I just want to throw this out there that if you look at Litecoin on the 4-hour chart, what you'll see is if you open up the MACD and you go back to this area right here around mid-February, one thing you'll see is the MACD on the 4-hour. Let me kind of draw in get in on this. The 4 hour kind of looking pretty bearish to the downside, right, on the MACD. But what happened was we had a pivot right around the 0 on the histogram, and the MACD crossed back above the signal line. And when that happened, at that same time, when that happened, right around here, and let me mark this on the chart, it was right around here, Litecoin on the 4 hour was seeing support at the 50 EMA on the 4 hour. And this solidified the new channel, this smaller, this small time frame channel compared to this longer channel in white you see here. This solidified this smaller term, shorter term channel for Litecoin. So if we get a similar move right now, support above the 50 EMA here, simultaneous with, and we'll get back to the MACD, another shift in the MACD right around 0 on the histogram, just what happened in mid-February, and we get a shift here, and we might get another MACD cross. That could be extremely bullish for Litecoin to basically, essentially, break the upper trend line in this longer-term trend line and short-term trend line that we've been watching. So that could be a potential bullish move to look out for Litecoin. Wanted to throw this out there. Those are my thoughts. My battery light is blinking. I hope you all have a great day. Let me know your thoughts below. I will see you in the next video, and God bless.